I've never seen a case where someone committed this kind of serial violence against different puppies.
Inside the Bradenton nonprofit, deputies discovered more than 300 animals living in complete filth.
I try to save my life like you guys did the 9/11. You guys went and bombed those people over there.
In my 33 years of doing law enforcement, this has to be the worst that I've ever seen.
Welcome to Maricopa County Courtroom, where April McLaughlin was accused of keeping dozens of dogs in horrifying conditions at a home in Chandler. McLaughlin emailed code enforcement officials, stating that they couldn't check her backyard but could see it from behind her house. But the police inspected her whole house and found 55 dogs living there in filthy conditions. They also found 5 dead puppies in the freezer. Later, McLaughlin was arrested for animal abuse. After the first arrest, code enforcement took photos of the backyard and gave McLaughlin a notice of violation. In early October, Adult Protective Services asked for police records related to McLaughlin's mother, Kathleen, to look into allegations of vulnerable adult abuse. The animals lived in the house because McLaughlin ran a shelter called the Special Needs Animal Welfare League. In an interview with the police, she claimed that there was nothing wrong with how she kept the bodies of the dead dogs close to the food.
So it's possible that when you walked in, a dog had just defecated or had diarrhea or throw up because they were sick or they couldn't make it outside.
The police charged her with up to 95 crimes. They also submitted 9 animal cruelty felony raps and 9 other misdemeanors against McLaughlin. And that's not all. After all of this, McLaughlin begged the court in the initial hearing to have her dogs back. At first, McLaughlin wanted 47 dogs back. Later, when she was in court, she changed her mind. She only asked for 13 dogs. She explained to the judge that she had talked to the police a week ago and picked out 13 dogs she saw as her family pets. However, the judge said no to McLaughlin's request.
Oh, it makes us feel great here to doing this. This is something that should have been done a long time ago if we knew about it.
Now we are at the Miami-Dade County Courthouse, where 36-year-old Kenny Amaro was taken into custody because he allegedly choked a dog to death and then attached the dead body to a street sign. The police got a call about a man who was acting aggressively. When an officer arrived, they spotted Amaro showing unusual behavior. The dog's owners discovered that the dog's body was tied to a traffic street sign. Amaro claimed the dog behaved aggressively towards him in front of its owner's home. According to him, the dog bit him many times.
Ma'am, the dog was a dangerous dog.
Do not talk about
mean dog.
In order to save himself, he put his belt around the dog's neck, swung it in circles several times. However, surveillance cameras in the area showed a different story. In the video, Amaro saw the dog on the front porch and tried to attract it to him by bending down. The dog approached him in a friendly way and walked past him. Amaro once again attempted to lure the dog to him. When the dog approached, the video showed Amaro using his belt to loop around the dog's neck. As he stood up, he pulled on the belt and spun the dog. After that, he forced the dog to the ground, continuing to strangle it. According to the video, the dog never showed aggression towards Amaro, and he did not seem afraid for his safety. Amaro was charged with animal cruelty with the intent to harm or kill.
May I speak now?
Go ahead.
I was afraid for my life and I had to defend myself like you Americans do all the time. I try to save my life like you guys did the 9/11. You guys went and bombed those people over there.
Welcome to Manatee County Courthouse, where Sherry Napier was convicted of 8 counts of aggravated animal abuse and 1 count of scheming to defraud. Alan Napier, Sherry Napier's husband, was convicted of 8 counts of aggravated animal abuse. Additionally, he was found guilty of 1 count of scheming to defraud and 1 count of unlawful solicitation. The investigation drew community outrage after a law enforcement raid of Napier's log cabin, horse and animal sanctuary Sanctuary, 20010 State Road 64 East, led by the Manatee County Sheriff's Office.
A lot of these you can see the hip bones, the entire rib cage, the spine, that's really low protein. So they've been hungry for a long time.
Because no one was expecting the intensity of cruelty to the innocent creatures, they took more than 300 animals, including horses, pigs, dogs, cats, and goats.
You can smell out here, so you can imagine how bad it is in there.
The raid resulted in various complaints from concerned residents. During the court trials, Sherry Napier's lawyer claimed that the medications were available for animals at the Napier's house, and their grown-up daughter looked after the animals whenever they were away. It was hard to measure the animals' progress. No records indicated how long the animals had been there or what their initial condition was when they arrived.
In my 33 years of doing law enforcement, this has to be the worst that I've ever seen.
According to the state, between 2010 and the raid, Napier's put almost $10,000, which was meant for the sanctuary, into an account for their newspaper, a for-profit business. Around $60,000 was used for things not related to the animals. Additionally, Napier's purchased pure-breed dogs from breeders outside the state and sold them, pretending they were rescue dogs.
The final ruling would be as to whether or not the decisions made by the trial court judge were in fact the correct decisions and rulings or not.
After the trial in the courts, couple was sentenced to 3 to 85 years in prison. Our next stop was the Nassau County Courthouse, where Ellie Knoller was sentenced to a 1 year in jail, 5 years of probation, and a 50-year ban on having pets for causing the death of 2 puppies and severely injuring a third one. Ellie Knoller and his wife were taken into custody in 2019 in what the Nassau District Attorney described as one of the most severe cases of animal abuse they have ever encountered.
I've never seen a case where someone committed this kind of serial violence against different puppies.
Authorities reported that on February 8, 2019, Knoller adopted a 10 to 12-week-old male puppy from a nearby animal shelter. Unfortunately, just over a week later, the puppy succumbed to a kidney rupture caused by Knoller's infliction of blunt force trauma, resulting in internal bleeding. Regrettably, the mistreatment did not end there. Several days after the first puppy's tragic death, Knoller adopted a 10 to 12-week-old male, another puppy from a breeder. 2 days later, the second puppy had trouble breathing and its heart stopped. Knoller had once again hurt the puppy, causing it to die from a torn liver. And the story doesn't end here. Another creature suffered from this brutality again. Officials discovered these incidents when Knoller took an 11-week-old female third puppy to the vet a week later. The puppy had many broken ribs, bruises on her lungs, and a fractured leg. In March of 2022, Knoller admitted to 3 counts of seriously hurting animals, and then the punishment was given by the court. Let's divert your attention towards the 26th District Courthouse, where Frank Javier Fonseca was charged with prolonged punishment in jail. In February 2019, this 56-year-old guy was recorded on video abusing the dog on the front porch of his home near San Antonio's Quintana neighborhood. The dog was just 5 months old. According to reports from the city of San Antonio Animal Care Services Agency, the defendant was disciplining a dog for escaping the yard. The video captured Fonseca punching the dog with a closed fist and using a piece of wood to hit him. The brutality persisted as Fonseca kicked and choked the helpless creature. The video, lasting nearly 2.5 minutes, was filmed by an unidentified person across the street. In the footage, Fonseca brutally attacked the dog, who could be heard crying out in pain. According to court records, Fonseca was arrested in September 2021. The court examination process revealed that Fonseca faced 3 distinct animal cruelty charges February 2019. And that's not all. Records from Bexar County Court indicated multiple past criminal convictions on Fonseca, and convictions including drug possession, different types of theft, driving under the influence, operating a vehicle with a suspended license, and retaliation. Fonseca was sentenced to 25 years on June 10, 2020. 2022. This sentence was one of the lengthiest penalties ever documented for animal cruelty in Texas. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to enjoy more relevant updates.